Hey, hi, Robert.
Okay, we're at uh
It is a steamy day today. Even here, you can kind of smell the moisture in the HVAC system.
hmm, I can believe it. You can see it in the air.
I think it's probably what it is. Is that just previous damage?
No, it's clouds.
No, I'm saying like the window.
All the windows. Um,
If you look at the top pane up there, it looks all cloudy.
there's a lot of condensation on there.
Yeah, it's looks like an all.
Other, yeah, I'm not sure what that's from. Don't know what it's from.
Oh.
No, what happened?
Activated super special mode.
Or it's because I shoved the cursor right on that side. Ugh. Where are Jim and John? And Matt?
Pay for a nap, I guess. I would. I was cruising for a nap, and Ashley's like, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "Oh, it's at that time already."
Hmm. Got them both. Wind expected tomorrow.
It's Wednesday of the weekend.
Hmm.
Man, that tree wasn't ash. I don't know what the heck it like blew up from the inside. Like this like brittle and just snapped in like a half a dozen pieces.
One of your trees blew
Not
over.
our tree. In the park down the street, there's some kind of bushy sort of tree that's all craggy looking and like it's like snapped off clean at the base.
Hmm.
And not like splintery, like it's like it just popped out and fell over. And it's
Wow.
all like it broke at the cell walls or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Not very fibrous tree. It was very brittle.
Bless you.
Huh.
Oop. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So I texted Jim, John, and Matt and Mike. Here comes Cecil.
Hey yo.
Hello.
That's what the drive through Burger King.
Well, no, I ate the Burger King over by Walmart.
Walter?
I had to go to Walmart on Elmore
Oh, that's all this one.
that way.
Elmore is northeast. Wait.
I
Wait.
mean, Locust Street runs that way.
Yeah,
It's down there.
there is one over there.
That
Yeah, at Walmart.
Walmart's over here.
that's the West End Walmart.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm pointing in the wrong direction? I thought that was east, it's west?
You got turned around too many times in the staircase,
I guess so.
right? Yeah, the parking lot's over there.
Parking lot's over there.
Less time to get here than I thought it would.
No wonder it took so long. You went the wrong
Yeah.
way.
Obviously.
Somebody said, "Oh well."
Oh, well,
That's a pretty good location.
oh, well,
Okay.
Well, it's 7:05. We better get started. All right. So, thank you for coming. Braving the heat and humidity. All right. So, Jim.
That's why he wasn't on the meeting.
Yeah, he tried to come in person and then forgot my cell phone, didn't know where to come.
All right. So for first time tonight, past events, we had a public night at Menke Observatory on June 8th. Me, Cecil, and Chris went out there. Clouds were persistent until about 10 o'clock. And we had 7 people from the public all together come out. And well, they did get to see a few things through the clouds, like thin crescent moon, and I caught a few double stars. And then, of course, they left just before the sky finally cleared out. Cecil, Chris, any comments?
That about sums it up.
yeah,
All right.
Bad timing, huh? They left.
of course, that's the way it always is.
Yeah. I was like there for the Aurora and I left too at about 11:30, 12 o'clock or something. I guess it cleared off after I left.
All right. All right. So for upcoming events, what is that?
That's my phone, I keep getting crappy text messages. I have no idea what,
What was that?
people on my driveway.
Interesting sounds.
And cacophony.
You should hear what my dad's phone sounds like when he gets a text. But anyway, all right. Upcoming. Yeah, someone just.
Yeah, John's having trouble getting on.
Okay. Well. All right. So upcoming events. Cecil and Jeff are doing solar observing at, you said it's at the Salisbury Bridge Recreation Area in Muscatine. What times is that?
I think it's like 9:30 to 11.
9:30 to 11?
There are gonna be 2 groups of 9, 10, 11-year-olds.
2 groups of 9, 10, 11-year-olds.
So I guess we get them for, kind of like, one group is in for 45 minutes and maybe the second, I think that's what it's supposed to be. There's gonna be several kids here.
Hmm.
No, 9:30 to 11 in the morning.
Yeah, solar, okay, solar.
Yeah.
For 9 to 11-year-olds.
I think that's what it is.
So, anyone has, so if anyone else would like to help Jeff and Cecil out, please let us know let us know pretty soon, because they do have to go through checks in order to participate, right?
Yeah, gotta get screened, you know, it's the FBI or the CIA or the.
NSA,
Somebody.
IRS,
That's
POV. SPCA. Yep. What's he doing? It's, right. Yeah, where was I? Oh. Our next Menke Observatory public night is July 6th. Yeah. Now what? What's the? Are you? Sorry, I keep getting texts for someone trying to link on. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna be out of town for the July 6th meeting. So be nice if we could get a count of who is planning to planning to go to that one.
I'm planning to go.
Yeah, probably Joseph.
Cecil, Chris, okay.
But
And Jim. Okay. Here comes Al.
Howard Cox has been working on my 30-inch problem with the finder. Supposedly just got figured out. Didn't like the finder I had on there, so borrowed another one.
Howard, you want to tell Cecil what you told me about the 30-inch?
Yeah, I checked combination on that. It was the first thing I did is found out where the center mirror is. That's got an X etch in it. And then I put a dot there, and then the alignment showed it was 4 inches off the center of the mirror. It wasn't even close. And then the reflective point from secondary wasn't even in the eyepiece holder. That's all corrected now. I adjusted everything. So now maybe you'll have better ability to use your eyepieces.
I hope so.
You'll just have to check it out, and you can do a star check. Use a high power eyepiece and rack it from a star, clear star, in and out, and see if the projection of the light scatters equally around the center star, and that means it's correct. You want something like a 13 millimeter or higher power than a 50 or 20.
I can do that.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
Cecil was also asking what the status of finders are, Telrad.
Yeah, Howard said he got it all fixed up.
Yeah, the Telrad on the back side is really easy to use. Now it does have a flip down mirror. You can look straight into it, but I have a little piece of tape that would have to be taken off to be able to use a right angle function on it. But I had the moon in 1 minute on that finder, and then in 4 minutes on his viewfinder at the top of the scope. The moon, everything centered within 5 minutes. Now you'll have to do it on a star. Just find your bright star somewhere and check everything out.
Sounds good.
Any other comments about the 30-inch, Cecil, while we're talking about that?
Well, Steve has sent me a couple of texts about hooking up the computer, and said that he was going to said that the center bolt wasn't working properly, moving it, and wanted to. I knew what it was and I couldn't remember, but I actually did find the instructions for that center bolt.
Can you take a picture of that and send that to me?
Yeah, I think I can. basically just, well, anyway, I can do that. Cause that's, I don't even know how I found it, but I found it. It's just a single sheet. I'm not sure where I got that bolt from, but anyway, I will do that. Cause he's
Okay.
thinking about dropping the base off and connecting, working on that center bolt.
Steve, you
Yeah,
wanna say anything
yeah.
about, your thoughts or what you've been doing?
Yeah, so I've contacted several of the what do you want to call it, the suppliers in the amateur astronomy manufacturers or what have you. And so Sky Commander, they're gonna send me some parts, and Astro Systems are gonna send me some parts, and Obsession is gonna send me some parts. And hopefully we can find something that fits. We took John and I were up there on the weekend, and we dropped the base down off of it, and we kind of saw why Cecil kind of had a problem with it, and you know, the scope is so big that it just needs a custom installation is what it needs. And so we're working on it. It's chugging away. The thing is that we measured it, the bolt length that Cecil had was like a 3-inch bolt. It looks like he kind of tried to extend it on the bottom there. And we're gonna take that out, and we're gonna put the correct 5-inch bolt in there, and that's quite lengthy. So
So right now the scope is unusable?
no, it's all put back together again. We just took measurements.
Okay, I'm gonna say, before you did that, I was gonna ask you to, clean off the,
Oh, the Teflon to what do you want to call that? The Formica, that was fairly clean.
okay.
Because you know, on the
It was
Teflon,
it was moving rather tough, and normally it doesn't do that. And it actually,
Yeah.
it's a polyethylene, not Teflon.
oh really? Well, yeah, I looked up underneath there. I mean, I will say that the Formica is coming off, so it probably could be re-glued in the corners.
Yeah,
But I don't think that you're contacting in that point. It's the outer corners there, so I think we're okay for now. I mean, for usability, but so so we've got some parts coming, and I think that we're going to be able to get this working. But we also see I also see why he had some trouble though. Okay. Yeah, it's just that the kits that they make for those are for a much smaller telescope, you know. So, and then I showed John what I was going to do, and then he agreed with everything that I was. He said that you know he felt I was doing the right thing, and there was really no other way to do it. So,
well, the Sky Commander was given to me,
oh really?
yeah. And I could, if that's not gonna work, we can always, look at something else.
Oh no, it'll work.
I think what Steve's talking about is some mechanical parts, not at all the electronics
Yeah.
for the.
The electronics. I plugged the Sky Commander into my astrophysics scope. It has the same encoders, and it works fine.
That's good.
So we can get back on topic here. So August 3rd is our meteor shower party, and I guess we're going to be at Pleasant Valley Junior High School again for it. Ian Spangenberg is making the arrangements for us. So we usually start about around sunset. And we should remember to bring, if someone thinks of it, bring the guest book from Menke Observatory to Pleasant Valley for that night so that we can get And we can ask people to sign in and get a genuinely good number of how many people attend.
what's the,
August 3rd.
okay. So when is? Okay. No, that's fine, because we're not gonna have anything else public between now and then, besides the one on the sixth.
Besides the one on the 6th, right?
Oh,
It's not very, the date is not very close to the peak of the meteor shower, but the peak is close to the full moon. So I think that date was selected closer to,
It's not the first time we've had to do that. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been out there where I've seen any meteors.
Even on a moonless night, no. Well,
It's.
Or
I mean, it's-
not that far away from the Quad Cities.
so yeah, it seems to get the attention of the public.
Yeah.
And so if we can get a few members to bring telescopes, and we talked about
Yeah.
Saturn would probably be positioned, so that's always a nice subject.
And somebody brings some membership forms too, just in case some of the attendees do get interested enough.
And where are those located?
There's a stack of them in the observatory classroom.
Okay.
Or, I mean, if anybody wants to, I could email the membership form and then you could have some more printed out here. Or, wait a minute. I think I do. Yeah, I've got some with me. I mean, I could bring these if need be.
and I think that same form's on QCAS.org,
It's on
the other website.
QCastro.org, yes. Yep.
Not QC Astro, why am I looking, I think QC Astro is up. Is it QC Astro? I think QCS, the one that, not the one that Matt has, the other one.
The other one?
Yeah, that's where we found that form to apply.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was just on the website, this website today, and where QCastro.org, and where it says, click here for the membership forms, there's nothing there. So there's a lot of disconnects.
Gonna fix it.
I just found another disconnect. At the top of this thing, it says QCastro.com. I have to fix that.
That's the White House. So
I don't have any, but someone else does. And you
don't
can
have
you can
the
have
White
this.
House?
Hold on, let me check my calendar. Yep, it is 2024. Who's held what?
The Dollar Store,
What?
Dollar Tree sells White House.
Well, of course, it's all discounted now because nobody needs it.
I still buy that stuff when I have to make a correction on something that isn't in the computer. I don't put it on the computer screen.
In all fairness,
No, I do that.
we do have to count for the older generations. Anyway, and then we've split up Eastern Iowa Star Party between August 31st and September 28th. Everything, I haven't heard anything new on that. Although our last board meeting, we did bring up that we should think about getting bigger again, beginning with next year's party. So we should start talking about it earlier in the year for at least the board meeting, so we can make longer term plans.
If the first one is clear, we have a good weekend. Will that second weekend be nothing or a public or?
I think we're talking about having them both days regardless, because the August 31st one is too close to Labor Day, so some people won't want to come to that one. And September 28th, that's the same weekend as what Okie Tech, so some won't want to come to that.
I'll just do this.
All right. Does anyone have any questions on the meteor shower party or EISP?
So where is the meteor shower party? You said Pleasant Valley?
Pleasant Valley Junior High School. The one with that parking lot in the back next to that track, so that there's pretty much no other houses around.
And then we also, on the board meeting, decided we were gonna do like potluck during the Eastern Iowa Star Week, so.
Yes. Who's that? Yeah. So at least one or two on the board will just bring the usual munchies and drinks, but yeah. Maybe wants to bring other food, cook other food. I mean, in past years, who was it who always brought chili? Was it midnight chili?
I think there was cheesecake. Yeah, sure.
So I do remember hearing that. Yes. Yes. If that doesn't bring in people, I don't know what will. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, the observatory. Well, we had some discussion about the 30-inch, discussion on the other scopes. Howard, before the meeting, you were talking about doing some work on the 12-inch.
Yeah, that's the other small dome.
Yes.
When me and Sarah gets out there next time, we want to check the laser alignment on that and see what's there and make sure it's culminated right. Jim was asking me about that. We should be able to check that out real quick and see if it was off as bad as the 30-inch. I need Cecil to report back to me as soon as he does a star test and see if it's good or not. So I know how to continue on the other one so we can get more use out of that scope. Jim was saying it was so far out of alignment, it was not very good. But I've got a whole procedure that I got off YouTube that explains how I have all the tools necessary to do that alignment.
Well, the conversation that Howard and I had a few weeks ago was that Mike Danefeld and I had moved the 12-inch Newtonian into the dome, probably been at least a year ago. We had not polar aligned it, the best of my recollection. I don't know if anybody else has used the telescope since then. I don't know if anybody has, but you know, could have happened. But so I told Howard he might have to polar align it, and I also told Howard that it hadn't been getting much use, so I thought it would be a good idea if he wanted to kind of take it under his wing to get it operational and use it some. But if you know, if that's not good guidance for Howard, you know, let's talk about it.
What I was thinking that if I get it checked out, and if we have events, we would assign different. So I don't have to do it all the time. Assign different people, see if they would do it that night when you have like a star party or something. They can be assigned there for that night for the public. If that sounds good to everybody else. And that way we would share this responsibility of helping other people use it.
So is that okay with you for him to work with that telescope to get it operational?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
Now, my opinion on what you just said, Howard, is that's subject to having enough people. I mean, I would say Dr. Mitchell's 14-inch scope is going to have higher priority for him to spend time with. The new refractor and Cecil's 30-inch. So are there enough people there on a public night to also man the 12-inch? I don't know if there are.
We probably use a 20-inch before you.
Well, on the 20-inch too, that's a good point too. So, you know, I think the reason the 12 hasn't been used is it's pretty far down the priority list. So that's why I thought it was good if Howard wanted to take it under his wing to to work with it. Now it's
Yeah,
trying to draw the rest of us in.
Yeah, why don't I just do that for now? And,
Yeah,
and
then, yeah, we can see how well it works.
right, and then on the 20-inch, I went and fixed all the telerads on it, and me and Sarah actually used a damp sponge and cleaned it all up so it's real nice and clean and ready to use.
Yeah, I think you changed some batteries and,
Yeah, yeah,
got the
everything,
illuminators working.
everything's up to par, and I replaced batteries, and now I can also repair the LEDs in these. I have 100 LEDs coming, and in case somebody's, I can figure out if they work or not and how to fix them.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Howard.
Yes, thanks, Howard. And for my part, for the 14-inch, I've been thinking I could I'm going to be out of town for a while, but I'm thinking I could offer some training on that, because I mean, I don't know who else uses the 14-inch with the stellarium if I'm not there.
I think John Baker has said he feels like he knows how to use the 14-inch.
He did say
I
that,
think you're
yes.
right, and a number of other people do make use of stellarium, but I don't think a lot of people have used the 14-inch.
As far as I know, Jeff and I were the only two people who really used it once the stellarium was hooked up.
Okay, now over on the 6.5, I went in with John Baker, and we figured out how to get computers and stellarium hooked up to run that one. So he should be able to also do it on the 14-inch too. Not me. I use SkyX.
Okay. But yeah, so in general, it's definitely a good idea if a number of different people have at least some training on at least 2 or more of the scopes out there.
So let's just do some train with other people on the different scopes so they know what's going on. So the more people that know what's going on, the better.
Perhaps on our next general meeting, before our next general meeting, we start thinking about dates when we could to suggest.
Okay.
All right. And so anything else about the observatory and the scopes, or anything else about the observatory in general?
Yeah, I wanted to mention on the new 6.5-inch that I was doing some double star observing with that, and that thing is fabulous because I usually on a scope you get maybe in your eyepiece maybe a 1/4 inch separation of the stars. On that one with the high power eyepiece, it looked like 1.5 inch separation. That thing is fabulous.
Really?
Great for double stars.
Wonder if you could do the double with it.
Yeah, that's when I was looking at it. And it looked like 1.5 inch separation on with maybe about a 5mm eyepiece.
Wow.
And flat on the face. I mean, it was great.
Wow. You have a 5mm eyepiece with that.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Maybe it might have been a 13. Somewhere in from 13 to 5.
Still,
may have been a 7 I was using. I don't remember.
Still, it's even more mag than the 14-inch can manage.
I also went. What I was doing is just checking out, see what I could look at. Well, I'll look at a few double stars, and I'll look at Albarial was fabulous. It's a great scope.
So that should mean that when we get stable nights, it'll provide nice views of the planets, which is what we hope for by buying a nice premium refractor.
Yeah, yes. It will work great.
I think it was last fall. I can't remember the exact date. Saturn was out. With my 100mm Apple doublet, I got Saturn my 4.7mm. Really nice. Some, we had a cooler, more stable night. In my 100mm, it's really a good job. high power, it's amazing.
Mm.
So I would think that 6.5 inch triplet should do a really good job.
I may have to get a high powered eyepiece for the 14-inch. Like the smallest one we've got right now that's like decent is like still like about 20 millimeters.
There are other better ones out there. I've got a nice 10-inch, 10 millimeter also.
I mean, I've got smaller ones. I got 9 millimeter. I think even a 7 millimeter, but they're old and faded.
Yeah.
Some of these have real small apertures too. I have a 9 millimeter
Yeah.
Negler that's got an inch diameter, and it's just with a 9 millimeter you can split stuff great. It's got to be in that power range. Even for planetary stuff, you want to kick that
Yes.
power up. You can actually see the atmosphere. Oh, it's almost like you stick your finger into the atmosphere on planets.
I have to look into that. Yeah. All right. All right. Anything else?
Well, okay, as long as we're talking about the observatory, the 30-inch, both Howard and Craig have talked to me about maybe an improved ladder. They were promoting the advantages of a ladder that's on a base that you could roll it around. I don't know enough about it. I mean, I use those in a work environment, but not in an observatory. So Howard and Craig, do you want to talk about where you've seen those work with telescopes? Maybe at some Star Party festival, if anybody else has got any experience with that kind of thing. So I'm just giving
Okay.
you guys an opportunity to talk about it.
I wanted to mention something. Even on the ladder that Cecil had, if there was just a couple LED lights, so you can visually see in the dark, see where the ladder is, because usually you're working in the dark. It would be nice to have just something there. Now, Cecil had mentioned to me something about a requirement for the height of the ladder. He may want to mention that it has to be a certain height to be safe or whatever.
10 feet to use it. You gotta have a 10-foot ladder to use it. You point that thing straight up, you better have a 10-foot ladder.
Okay, so the 7-foot one for $250 was too short for what he was recommending. He's probably right, but I never looked at anything any better that has the handrail and everything.
And for anything that tall, you'd have to be able to lay it down for closing the roof.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying if you just put some lights on the ladder he's got, may help the public see where the steps are.
Yeah, but there's no
I
railing.
think for safety reasons, there should be one with handrails.
Got it.
Oh yeah, we could make a simple. We could make if we get the lights there, I could make a simple handrail for that, for them to hang on to and still be able to see the ladder a little bit so they don't fall down. That's
all right.
Long ways up.
Howard.
Yep.
I was up at a Star Party up in Minnesota about 3 years ago with Jeff.
Yep.
There was a 30-inch daub up there, and the guy in gravel parking lot had one of those that was 10 foot tall, and the railings were perfect for anybody to go up. The last thing we want is somebody to fall off. So I think the idea is you could either buy that with the railing and have it removable at the railing top so that the roof can slide over it. And when you open it up, you can fit those railings back in, or lay it over, like the professor said. Either one, it would work, be more stable. You've got a railing on both sides of the steps, not just one. Where you got these 10-foot ladders we've got, there is no railing. All we need is one person to fall.
Okay.
Why we go this way.
That's why I originally mentioned it. If we get somebody hurt, publicly, I mean, then it's going to affect other people coming.
Yeah.
that's the only reason I even mentioned ladder at the gym was because of that, because it's dark. Sometimes you can't see. What would be the safest thing to use?
Again, I've seen it used where they laid it down over in the corner when they're not using it. They roll up the roof or open up the roof and they lay it up and they use it for the night. The next thing you know, they move it over the corner and lay it back down. If they didn't want to go that route, all they'd have to do is cut the tubing, 4-corner tubing at the top step so that it would fit the roof on and off. And then when it's open, you could attach those with 2 inner tubes back into original place.
Yeah.
But I think laying them down probably be the fastest route. Stability is key. I'm for the idea of getting it for the sake of safety, if nothing else. At least look into it.
Yeah, it sounds like if maybe Craig, Howard, Cecil, anybody else that's interested in kind of getting together and talking about it, coming up with a proposal, make that proposal to the board, see if we can put it in place.
Right now,
Yes.
I've looked, if you get a 10-foot ladder with handrails that actually on wheels, so you can move it around and lock the wheels,
Okay.
you're looking at
Yeah.
about $1,000.
When you stand on it, your weight pushes the legs down on the rubber boots so they don't move.
That's
You
right.
step
That's the way it's supposed to.
and it springs up and you can move it around.
And that's, from what I've looked, I haven't looked at every place, I've only looked at, Lowe's and Menards and those kind of places. But the average is about $1,000.
Well, if we have 4 people working on the project, it'll only be 250 per person.
Sure. Oh, no, it doesn't matter, I'm just saying, that's what basically the ladder will look like, the ladder is gonna cost.
I would like to have the dimensions from the cement floor to the lowest end of the roof beam to get an idea where to start. Then I'd like to know what would be the distance from the floor to the comfortable distance we would have to be up in the air to use the 30-inch dot.
Well,
And
what's
then-
the IP side when it's straight up?
I don't know exactly. Can be measured, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to measure the eyepiece when it's straight up to find out what the maximum requirement is, and then measuring the trusses should be pretty obvious.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. How often do we have that dot straight up?
No.
No, not that often. If it comes down to that, then I don't know. I wouldn't want anybody up there unless they have good support.
I'd say usually you're picking stars that are coming out of the east and moving into the field of view, that it would never be up. You'd be towards the east, towards the west, or northwest, northeast, and not straight up.
Try M13.
I was gonna say, at the Messier Marathon, there are 4 or 5 objects that are just about straight up.
Well, it just depends on what time of day it is and what month it
Well, for
is.
sure, but I mean, if
I
you know
think
how high the eyepiece is and straight up, you have some idea where you work. I mean, it's a hard grade.
So first thing we'd have to do is know if it even if it is straight up, how high do you have to be to properly be able to see?
Correct.
Get some
You
measurements.
only need like a 2-foot ladder.
One that's jackable.
I don't think it would hurt to look around and find out what choices we have.
And I do know if you look around, there's better prices at different companies, because some of these companies want to rip you off.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I just looked at a couple places around just to get an idea. And I was saying, it looked like the average for a 10-foot ladder with handrails, with the rubber feet was about $1,000.
How much does a broken arm cost?
Okay, so you guys look into it and
Yeah.
see, kind of rustle around, argue it, find, get the details you need, and let us know what you think.
So you're gonna say Craig, Howard, and Cecil, and who else?
Well, whoever else, anybody else that wants to get on
Okay.
that team, maybe contact Cecil, but, you know, I know
Yeah.
John Baker's has used the telescope a little bit, so he might have some input.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on.
Okay, all right. Moving on. Anybody bought any new gear lately? Cecil.
I just bought, has not been delivered, and I Optron 108mm f6 for solar HA viewing.
Hmm.
I can't use my 100mm because it's way too long. And I was able to get a really good deal on this scope. And with my 40mm lens, gives me 63 degrees. And since the sun basically is 0.53, I'll have a full image at higher magnification.
Okay. Yes. Think you'll have it in time for the 25th?
Supposed to get it Wednesday. That's not gonna be, it's not gonna be clear. Supposed to be raining on Wednesday, so you know what that means. So who knows, by the time the 25th rolls around, it might still be cloudy, who knows?
That's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'll have it supposed to get it Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have some nights to, clear days to work with it. And there have been some nice flares out. I've seen.
Mhm.
Activity on the sun's been really great lately. Lots of flaring, a lot of prominences. About a week ago, there was a flare almost halfway across the whole sun. Just a continual line.
Yeah, there's been some good activity out there right now, so.
We're approaching a maximum.
And part of the problem we have with that quark hydrogen alpha, they call it a nitrous, is you're limited. It takes only 1.25 eyepieces. And you can't really do anything lower than 25mm. So you're stuck between 25 and 40. And so it's not like a lump where you can put in 10mm eyepiece if you want to.
Well, you can't go higher. Higher power.
Yeah, you're stuck, 25mm is about it, and they recommend, I have a 32 and a 40 television Fossil, I hate those Fossil. My 25 is a cheapo purple. Excuse me, white. Your image really starts to darken once you get past 25. So, it's kind of a pain. Anyway, but that's the new thing I haven't gotten yet. Well,
Anyone else got anything new?
and I ordered that before my house air conditioning went out. And
What is
before,
air conditioning when you're looking at the sun?
I know, and also before the car dealership that I got my latest vehicle from, as far as I can tell, was selling me illegal tires. There was probably nothing I can do. So I have to buy new tires.
What's an illegal tire like?
DOT says you should not have tread lower than 4/32 of an inch.
Correct.
These are 2/32.
Oh, yeah, that would be illegal.
But see, I don't know if that's a law or if it's a recommendation.
Well, no, it says that if you get pulled over and the cop pulls out a tire gauge and checks your tire, then you give you a ticket for being below the limit.
And you know what it's like to get a hold of the DOT other than the driver's license department? I tried.
You might just go to for Iowa, you live in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a website where you look up the code. If you feel like browsing through all the legalese, but They say if
What
you
is-
stick Lincoln, if you stick Penny in the tread and Lincoln's head is fully visible, then your tire is already.
What does this have to do with astronomy?
Yeah. I don't know, it's our.
I'm just saying.
Marketing money.
Yeah.
It sounds like something should be talked
So before, kind of almost before everything else caves in.
Getting back on topic. Does,
Here, here.
Said that he's gonna spin off if we're gonna have the snow for free.
does anybody selling anything astronomy related?
I still got all my astronomy stuff for sale.
For a little bit.
A little bit in there,
Yeah,
depending on what you guys do.
we're gonna figure this out.
Yes.
But anyway, I do have, if anybody wants a nice 100 mm f9 refractor, I can sell that. I probably won't use that much anymore. And it's an Apple scope, it's really nice. But yeah, the amount of me doesn't like it.
Anybody interested? Contact Cecil. Anyone else? Okay, we don't have a formal presentation planned for this meeting, so jump right into anybody have any new photos to share?
I've got two. I was at Bootleg and only one night of viewing. And 2 days later, I went down to the beach to finish it up because there was a lot of fog that night, a lot of moisture. So the first one I did, let me see here, was the Tri-Fed. And that was done with a mono SHO using my 1600 mm ZWO camera. And I used the Explorer Scientific 127 triplet for that picture. Does anybody see it?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yes, yep.
Okay. And the other one I did was with my, wait a minute here, was with my 8-inch Edge HD, no reducer. And that was M20. Give me a minute here. Wrong area.
Does anyone think we need the lights off in here for seeing these?
Looks okay to me.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay,
Okay.
the first one I did was the Eagle, and I did it at first in HOO. And that's how it turned out.
Hmm.
And then I
See the-
reloaded.
You can see the pillars right in the center of it.
Mhm, that was the whole idea. The yeah, it's pretty good. I did the same thing, but in SHO, and brought out some color. And that was it. Well, anyway, like I said, it was very wet on that Saturday and the Sunday morning, but I had a clear night 2 days later at the beach down here. So,
Well,
well,
that's
anyway,
a different look than what you normally see, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
And this Craig, is this the Hubble palette?
yeah, this is Hubble palette SHO. The other one was HOO, which was I doubled on the oxygen.
Yeah, it was hydrogen, oxygen, oxygen.
Yep.
Okay. And that's why it was more blue or greener.
Yes. Other than that,
That was cool. The Tri-Fed, that was really cool. I like the separation and the banding on the Tri-Fed there. I've never seen it that clear.
well, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else has a picture?
Alan, do you have anything you can show us?
Well, yeah, I do.
All right.
It's not, I don't have anything to compare with that, but let me
It's not a
see.
contest.
No.
If it was a contest, I would lose hands down.
Contest here. The idea is enjoying astronomy in all facets. So,
Yeah, it's not a contest.
Correct.
Let me see here. I'm on a different computer than I normally use, and I'm not as conversant.
I've seen, between Alan and Dan Cusick have been out working a little bit with Alan's newer camera. So he's kind of learning how to use his
You're not gonna be able to find it.
IO color camera. And also using that with the ZWO ASI Air and trying to get all that working with his older LX200 telescope.
Yeah, darn.
Yeah.
It,
Kind of could put him on the spot here to try to quick find some stuff in his computer that he could show us, but
Now, let me see here. I don't have any on this computer here. I don't think I have those pictures that you're talking about there.
okay.
But I do have 2 pictures from Niabi Zoo, and I've got to figure out how to share. Let's see here. Ooh, yeah. Why is everything always complicated?
Top the screen, there'll be a toolbar that'll show up.
I don't see anything.
If you tap the screen,
Pulling your mouse down.
Yeah, you have to move your mouse for it to make it show up.
Okay, hang on here. Let's see. There we go.
you'll have a green arrow says share.
You gotta let me know if you see anything.
We see observing session in IAVI June 15th.
Yeah, we're looking at your.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So it wasn't the best conditions. Here's can you see the picture of the sun?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only astro photo I succeeded in getting. I set up the scope that I rebuilt that was donated to the club. It's a 10-inch LX200 wide field f6.3 scope, and shot that image with a solar filter and the D7500 DSLR camera. So that's pretty quick and easy snapshot.
What date was this?
That was Saturday.
Okay.
And it was poor conditions. You can kind of see there's clouds over the sun there. It was pretty cloudy, but you can compensate with the camera settings. And then the other, so anyway, yeah, you're right there. I don't know who made the comment, but there's a lot of very nice sunspots out there right now. And this was the group we had out there from PAC. I think we had about 12 telescopes set up. But as I say, it was kind of tough seeing. We could view the moon and some double stars and M13 and things like that, but that was about it. And I didn't really have time I tried setting up my ZWO camera, but I didn't really have time to do much with it before it got cloudy. So we need to do some more work with it. It works pretty good with the LX200 scopes. I'm able to control the mount, with the ASI Air. I have not really been able to get the guiding to work right yet. I have gotten it to work a couple of times, but it's not consistent. So there's some things I got to figure out on that. This particular scope that you see here in the picture is I think that's a 12-inch go-to Dobsonian that Dave Smith owns. And we spent some time setting that up and getting that aligned and getting it functioning. That's a nice, that's a really nice outfit right there. So I think those, I have some other pictures, but I don't think I could find them under pressure here.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Alan.
Yes, thank you.
Very nice.
Looks like John
Yeah.
Baker has joined us.
From his car.
On the road.
His car.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
look at us.
so I guess it's gonna be challenging for him to show us any pictures. I know, John, did you develop any pictures you liked at the bootleg star party?
Yeah, I did. Not sure if I can. let's
Don't-
see.
Don't take your eyes off the road.
Don't.
I'm at a stop sign, middle of nowhere.
In the middle of the
Funny. And
You get to witness the end.
Leave me all your stuff in your will.
Hey,
There's
John,
one of the Crescent Nebula that I took. Can you guys see that or not?
We're just
No.
rotating you, not watching the road.
can you share from your phone?
tell you what, John, I have that picture. I can send it to you or send it up.
Well, something's happening.
Say, it looks like yep, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the version I did, Craig, with SHO or HSO or something. The one you
Mhm.
did, Craig, was
Mhm.
HOO. And yeah, you have that. You can show that one.
Okay. You still need to exit out the picture. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, I did it in HOO first, and then I tried to bring up SHO. This is just a little more color on the blue.
What
I
is
did like-
this?
That's
That's
the
the
crescent.
That's the
Kind of a wide view of the Crescent Nebula, just all the nebulosity that's in that region.
star formation. And the other one he did using the same processing shots was SHO, which is more red, less blue. Coming up. There we go. But I do like how the crescent red shows a little bit infused into blue.
Reminds me of one of those puffball fungus.
Maybe that's what it is.
Echo ray. Space.
That was a good picture, John. Very little overlap. I mean, your tracking is awesome. I don't think
How
I
many-
had
70 minutes of exposure for each color, HSO.
Wow, that's nice.
okay.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you.
You.
Anyone else? All right. right, what's next? Treasurer's report. So Matt isn't here, but we had our last board meeting less than a week ago, so unless we've made any big purchases between then and now, I could bring up. Let's see, what did I do with it? Here somewhere. As I'll never find it in this. All right, give me a minute. I recorded it. Sure, I put it in the minutes. Or but I can bring up Ashley's notes. All right.
Yeah. So our general fund is at $2,811 after 2 checks that we have out right now. Our event fund is at $500.05. Our observatory fund is at $5,140.01. Our savings account is at $5, giving us a total of $8,456.06.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So discussion.
Only we got $5 in savings.
I think we had to do that in order to set up the account in the first place.
It's
I
holding.
think
Yeah.
that's the base.
So I'm saying we can have 5. we can-
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? Do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report? Cecil moves.
Second.
Jim and Craig second.
Doesn't matter.
You tie for second. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Treasurer's report is approved. All right, then, moving on to other business. One item not on the agenda sent out that we did bring up at the board meeting. So the board agreed that since we don't have the money right now to buy the Mach 2 mount for the 6.5 inch, and that the Mach 1, the current Mach 1 mount seem to be moving just fine. So we're holding off on getting the Mach 2 at least for now. Maybe we'll put in our name for the list next year. Just see how it goes. See how the Mach 1 continues to perform.
Is a Mach 2 a larger mount, or why is it a 2?
Refresh my memory. What was our justification for?
It has a slightly higher capacity. I don't remember if it's 5 pounds or something. The more significant thing about it, it has absolute encoders. You know, it's the latest of technology, but you know, it's more than twice as much money as what we paid for the used one. So that's why board said we should stick with the Mach 1. Seems like it's gonna, you know, meet our needs. And until it proves differently, we'll continue to do that. I guess the other thing I would say is that those absolute encoders and the advanced technology probably can only be used by maybe advanced photographers. So for the average club member, I don't think that we'd see an advantage in going. You know, it'd be brand new and it'd come with a warranty. I guess that's not insignificant.
But we didn't currently have the funds for it
Yeah,
either.
that's
Or
a
about-
good point. And besides that, we don't have the money, we don't have enough money to buy it.
How about using the one you got for a while and see how it works?
Yeah.
That's what we decided.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then now we figured it's time to start thinking about who we want on the board for 2025. Did everyone get the email I sent out bringing this up and giving descriptions of the duties of each of the board members? Now, we don't actually have elections until November, so there's plenty of time to think about it. In the meantime, we'd like to ask if anyone would like to serve as a nominating committee. And really, the nominating committee or the nominating person, their only job is to gather up nominees that the membership sends for board positions, either nominating themselves or nominating someone else. Send those to the nominating committee. They gather them up and send them to the board by the end of October. And that's it. That's all the nominators really need. That's all the nominating committee really needs to do. The one requirement is whoever's on the nominating committee, they cannot be someone who's also running for a board position. So if you don't want to be on the board, then being on the nominating committee is a great way to avoid that.
And in Dr. Mitchell's email, he pointed out that our current treasurer and secretary have just been in those positions for a year or less. The intent of the bylaws are that there's rotation, that officers are, it's desirable to have some change. And so Dr. Mitchell's now on his 4th year, and I look back and this is my 3rd year, and that 3 years is where the bylaws say, you should find someone else to run for that position.
And the fourth year, you definitely have to find someone else.
That's according to you, but yes.
I think they're permanent positions.
Permanent positions.
We have judicial positions?
Yeah. So both Dr. Mitchell and I have been in these positions, long enough that it would, according to the bylaws and what makes sense to us, it's be a good idea to get somebody else to run for one of those positions.
Young minds, fresh ideas. Yeah. We can hold out as long as you can.
So it'd be great if one or more people would be on a nominating committee and kind of talk it up and see who might be willing to serve.
Yes. And again, if you're on the nominating committee, then really that's your only task, is to gather up nominations from the rest of the membership. We do need to have a list of nominees by the end of October. Again, according to the bylaws, they have to be in at least 2 weeks before it's before the annual meeting where we have the elections. So think about it, and then get back to the board if you're interested. Any questions, any comments, discussion?
And we realize the number of you that have been in the organization for quite a few years, you've been treasurers and secretaries and vice presidents. I know Cecil was a president for a number of years. And so it's good to get some new members, and we really appreciate that Ashley was willing to step forward and
very much so
be the secretary, and she looks at it as a good learning experience, so she can be a president in a year or two.
We're not rushing you.
Sure.
No, really.
Okay.
All right. And so the last item we have on the consent agenda is about the website. So Chris has been volunteering his time working on it. There any updates?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a technology picked out and I'm building a structure. Obviously, we got a website with member areas and non-member areas. So I gotta put together authentication mechanisms so we can actually authenticate who's coming in and people can create accounts or cross-authenticate with Google or Facebook or whatever so that we know that they're them. Getting all the account approval stuff set up, and then it's basically like, you think about it like a house. I'm building some foundational components. And once we get that, it's a matter of figuring out what exactly we want to build first, and then piecing all those things together, and then we can talk about how pretty or not pretty it is, and get the style working for us.
We were discussing at the last board meeting the kind of things that we wanted to use the website for. Our own ideas of the rest of the membership. And so
We discussed that a calendar was one of the things we wanted to focus on first. And then from workability, form for those who are interested, of course, in joining CAS. And then a forum would be the good next step, because then you can kind of do everything freely, at least while stuff is in development.
And a photo gallery.
Yes.
The photo, I think feature wise, photo gallery calendar are gonna be pretty simple to put together. That contact form is gonna be pretty simple. A forum is a very flexible tool, but it will take longer, it'll take more effort to build because of how they're structured. You got boards, you got main section, you got membership stuff, you got profiles, you got posts. So there's a lot more objects that go into making a forum programmatically than any of the other things. The gallery is pretty cut and dry. Calendar is pretty cut and dry. They're one dimensional. And the contact form is like half dimensional, so it's also pretty simple. Just a page with a thing and whatever we want to have. If it's going to be a bunch of fields that generates an email, or send somebody to like a Google Docs document, or some kind of document like that to fill out, or if we're gonna just pop in the PDF like we've been doing, or whatever. I mean, all of those things are trivially difficult.
We also discussed adding a question or two to the member survey that's currently under development to ask the membership what they want the want to do with the website.
Yeah, I think that's about the only question. Is what do you want?
What would you like to see?
Unless somebody else wants to volunteer design skills or something like that in terms of like how the layout is, the color palette, and I don't know, theming or stuff like that. Build the infrastructure to be able to do that, but I'm not an artiste. I'm a mechanic.
So
I think John Baker's willing to help too some. I don't know how much you've talked with John.
I haven't. John was busy getting fixed up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a server that I'm installing tomorrow down at our distillery that we can use to host it on if we need someplace to host it.
Yeah, I assume your servers are Windows, right?
I have both Windows and Linux.
Yeah,
want
so
to.
Windows is what I'm most familiar with. We can learn how to use Linux if we prefer to do that from a licensing perspective. I don't think it matters either way.
Okay.
The technology that I'm using to build the website is .NET Core, so it'll run on anything.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, we can set it up on the server 2022 machine.
The latest and greatest.
Yeah.
So how's the the survey coming along?
Sir.
We were talking about that, and from what we understand, it's for the website, it's really just kind of what would people like to see. like on the website, from the website. Cause
I don't know what other kind of questions we could have.
We've been talking a long time about a member survey. If you'd like, ask questions about the club in general, what people want from the club, where they see it going in 5 years.
Yeah, so.
I think Sam Snow was putting it together before he
Yeah.
left. Yeah.
Whether you guys got any transition from handling that, so maybe we can find a list of things that we had. I mean, just for example,
Good for the last 10 surveys.
we probably haven't had one.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
But is it on the website? It's broken?
Is it on the
No,
website?
no,
I don't think it was ever put on the old website. No, we were just,
We were still developing what questions did we want the survey. But for example, when we were talking about, okay, we build a building, what equipment should we put in it? You know, when we were asking for money, we gave some suggestions or had a vision to the people that were asking money for, but now that we got some money and we're actually gonna buy something. You know, one of the questions was, what's the membership want? Or what do they
there's a
want
new
to do with it?
equipment. Yes, that's something I
No.
asked. We were also just,
Now, so we didn't get to the point of asking that formally, but that would have been an example of, instead of just the board deciding with some input from the members, what equipment, what telescope should we buy, what mount should we buy? If we had that out of the survey, maybe they would lead us to a direction a little different than what we ended up with.
so I tell you what, Chris Ashley, I found a draft of the member survey that I have from February. I could email it to you.
Okay.
In fact, I can do that right now. Just give me a minute. Just need a minute or two.
I mean, probably in the past, we just felt we're a small enough organization, informal enough that people will tell the board what they want.
Mhm.
But we thought, maybe it's a good idea to have a forum.
It's on its way to you right now. Okay, so, and again, this is a work in progress. If you think that any of the questions need rewording or if you can think of new ones, you think some don't need to be there, just let us know.
Hey, Robert,
Yes, Al.
I have some suggestions. I'm not saying any of these are what you want or what your club members want for a website, but you could look at the PAC website. And it's always something that's getting changed all the time. Wait a minute, let me see, I hit the wrong thing here. Can I share my screen again here? Let's see.
Sure.
You probably have all been into it, so I'm probably not showing you anything you haven't seen, but this is just an example. So here's you see anything?
Yes, we see it.
Although I don't seem to be able to do anything with it though. The heck?
Oh, there you go, you got something out of the way.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, so here's what we've got out there. There's our home screen if you click into it. This is popular astronomiclub.org if you're interested. Then there's a history of the club and what we do, what we're about.
Right.
That sort of thing. I won't bore you with all the stuff that's out there, but then we've got a I don't know if we got it. Wait a minute, what's going on here? There we go. Photos, you know, if there's any astrophotography we got out there. We got those. Then we got a sky chart. So if you want to look at that, there's the
Yes,
there's the
Jeff
clear
used
sky.
Jeff used to send that to our club before
Yep.
our public events.
And then location, you know, here's one where we meet. I keep clicking on things that I don't want to click on. Calendars. So we've got club meetings. There's our calendar for club meetings, which is really good. You know, if somebody stumbles onto our website and they want to see where we meet, the ones that are crossed out are ones that we've had, and the ones that are not crossed out are upcoming. And then we've got documents. So we've got club documents, you know, like our bylaws, constitution, all that sort of thing. Newsletters, you know, we have an extensive record of newsletters for the past, I don't know how many years it goes back now, since 2014. Those are the ones we got loaded out there. I think we got more than that, but those are the last 10 years of newspaper articles that we've written, astronomy links to various places, presentations that we have, NASA information, you know, all that kind of stuff we have out there. You could consider doing something like that. The other thing that you could do is go out on the let's see, I think I lost my screen here now. You could go out on the North Central region of the Astronomical League website and take a look at that. There's a listing out there for all of the clubs in the North Central region. And most of them have websites. You could go out there and take a look at those and see what they have. Some are very good and sophisticated. Ours is pretty basic, I think, but it's got a lot of content out there. I don't know if I need to share any of that or not, but North Central Region of the Astronomical League, if you just Google that, it should take you out to that website. And I was going to do that here, but I don't know how. I don't think I'm in trouble with this computer here. How do I get back to where I was? Wait a minute. I don't know if you're still seeing this or not.
We sure are.
Seeing your browser.
Let me see.
North.
Let me just NCRAL might do it.
NCRAL online.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, WordPress right there. Yeah, there we go. If you go out here, there's some good examples out here. Maybe some are what you don't want to do too, but you can, if you want to see what others are doing, other astronomy clubs are doing. You know, this is the North Central region, and so here's governance. Talks about the affiliates that are out there. So this would be all of the. I think there's 34 clubs out there.
You got a list of them somewhere?
Pardon me?
You got a list of them somewhere?
Yeah, I'm showing you the list right here. Here's the list of all the clubs.
Oh, I see. All right.
And you know, like, okay, so here's Cedar Amateurs. I think if we click on that, that'll take you to their website, and you can see what they got. I think this would be a great tool if you guys want to use this to kind of pattern yourself after what others have done. You see what others done and don't like, things you don't like, things you do like. You can make your own website and come up with something really cool. This North Central Region website's pretty good. It gives all the clubs that are members of the Astronomical League in our region. It'd be kind of cool to get QCAS on this too, but I don't want to twist your arm.
It's up to the board, but I don't know why we wouldn't.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, join the
It's
Astronomical
expensive?
League?
What's it cost?
Let's see, what is the cost? It's
What, $5 per member, something like that?
it's $6. We just increased it. It had not been increased for like 20 years or so, but it's gone up to $6 a member. And I think it's $10 for a club to join. But like in your case, there's also the option of being a partial member, which still gets you, as an affiliate member as a club, but members wouldn't have to pay the $6 if they didn't want to, because like a lot of us are members already through other clubs.
Now, is that $6 per year or per month?
No, it's per year.
$6 per year. So right now we're each paying $20 per year to
Yeah.
members of QCAS.
And I think the situation, I think we were a long time ago, but
We were.
it got to the point where they couldn't figure out what the advantage was in joining.
Yes, so what do you do with the money you collect for dues? And then aside from being listed, is this primarily just a listing service?
Oh, no, there's tremendous opportunities that are afforded by membership. There's observing programs, there's scholarships, there's grants that can be given out for various purposes.
Grants.
So Alan, since you're an officer of this organization, and I think you could do a better service to us if you prepared an answer to that question. Would you maybe at a future meeting, make a presentation to the QCAS about why we might want to join the Astronomical League?
Absolutely.
You'd be willing to do that? Yeah, because just
Absolutely.
real briefly, you and I had a conversation a month or so ago about this and said the QCAS was a member of the Astronomical League. I think there's a lot of reasons why it made sense for us to be a member of the Astronomical League, but 10 years ago, we decided to unjoin, and that was a money issue. We had very little in our treasury. Our dues were $20.
15 probably.
Maybe 50, yeah, it could have been $15 a month, $15 a year. And we spent almost all that money paying our utility bill at Sherman Park. So we really were tight on money, and we were giving, maybe at the time it was $4 for every one of our members of that 15 to the Astronomical League. We knew there were some advantages to the Astronomical League, but we came to the conclusion we couldn't afford it.
I couldn't remember what they were.
And we dropped out. But now we have more money. We don't have the same utility bill and so forth. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile to again consider whether we should join.
Let's look into it again.
Yeah, I could
We'll
make
see when's a mutually, agreeable time when it fits for you to maybe make a presentation at one of our business meetings.
Yeah, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. I've had this discussion with a lot of clubs.
To the board.
Oh, the whole organization.
So it's at a general meeting.
We're looking for presentation.
We're looking for presentation.
Yeah.
We do anything.
We could use it.
You bet.
Good, thanks, Al.
We could use presentations for the next few months. So yeah, Alan, let us know when what closest general meeting you'd be willing to
You know,
do
Next
this.
month, if you're available next month, maybe we do
Let's
that.
see, when's the meeting, when's next month's meeting?
July 15th, I think. July
We're
15th.
we're gonna be in Alcon, right?
Yeah.
I can't make next month's meeting. I'm gonna be at Alcon. One of the advantages is, you know, the conventions that the Astronomical League puts on. We have one in the region. And we also have a national convention too. And I, of course, being a chairman of the North Central region, I have to attend a couple of these meetings. So
One
but
of
it
their
might
annual,
be-
sorry.
yeah.
Well, one of their annual meetings was in Molina a few years back.
That's right.
They hosted it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so maybe
everybody's-
maybe the next month you could make a presentation.
August
Yeah, maybe,
19th, that August 19th is the next one.
When are we traveling to the Pacific Northwest?
We should,
I might be able to make it on the 19th of August. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be great.
Remind me, I've got a presentation. I just need to update it.
Okay.
That'd be great. I would love to have QCAS be a member. Then I would definitely go to bat for you guys.
Another not.
Okay, thanks, Al.
Yeah, yes, thank
Yep.
you, Al. All right. So are there any items that you'd like to, any items that you'd like to talk about tonight, in addition to what we've done? Going once. Going twice. Well, because of the 4th of July holiday, the board decided to move our next board meeting to July 10th. And then our next general meeting is Monday, July 15th. Should be here in the Rogowski Center again. And I will be back in town in time for that one. So, yeah. All right, so is there anything else?
Steve?
Next meeting is when?
Next board
So-
meeting is July 10th. Next general meeting is July 15th.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right, anything else?
I move we adjourn.
Jim moves to adjourn.
Second,
Cecil seconds. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
All opposed?
Wednesday night.
Well,
I guess for your post, you can stay in the meeting.
He's not.
well, anyway, good meeting, everyone. Okay.
Have a good evening.
I guess we didn't have presentations so far. So.
Yeah. All right.
Astronomical League and PAC, you know, yeah, I would encourage you. Websites, see if you get any ideas from them.
Good night, everyone.
Yep.
It's okay.
See. Was there something else, Howard?
No,
Hey, Howard, I'd like to tag along with you sometime when you're doing some of this maintenance.
Okay, that'd be great.
Cause I'd like to pick up some of your skills and some of your knowledge and get a look at that. I got issues with my, especially my Dobsonian, I got issues, and I'm far more into the technical aspect of how the equipment works than I am in any of the pretty stuff per se. So, I mean, if you're on the mailing list, right? Don't forget, I'm talking to Howard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you just left over there.
Yeah, I'm still here. He's still here.
I'm here.
He's still over there. I was
Okay,
like,
what?
it's not the whole meeting.
What
Yeah, which
they
email's
had-
yours in the mailing list? I'll email you. And I'd like to, if you're going out there, if you can let me know, and if I have time, I'd like to go out there and see what you're doing, how you're doing stuff, and pick up some knowledge.
Okay, so they had the wrong email. My old email, and I haven't used that for 2 years, so I haven't been getting anything.
Oh. Do you need to give us a new email?
So do we have your?
I have a
current
different one now.
Oh,
It's
okay.
corrected.
Okay.
I gave it to Robert.
Did you get the meeting? Did you get the notes from Robert about the emails he's been sending out?
My email was wrong, so I was never getting any email.
Right, but
the
did you
last
get the
2
one 2
years.
days ago?
No, because
I had an older email for him on my distribution list. That was the problem.
Well, but you have it on there now, right?
I got his current one now. Yes.
it's correct now. Yeah.
Not yet. No.
Okay, you want to tell me his email?
It's Cox Howard, no spaces.
Figure out where I'm doing. Oh, there we are. I'm expecting the plus symbol. Fox Howard, no spaces.
At gmail.com.
Oh, well, that's an easy one.
Okay, now let make sure it's right here. It's Cox Howard number 2.
Oh,
And-
right. Yeah, number 2.
Fox Howard and then the number 2.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Then at gmail.com.
Okay.
And then sometime when I get out or we can get together, I can show you how to culminate stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna have to see how it comes out on Cecil's 30 inch. It should be great because the center of the dot, when you look down in the mirror, was 4 inches off to the side of the center of the mirror. And then when it went back up to the eyepiece, it wasn't even in the eyepiece on the reflection. So what we would do is a pinhole alignment of the secondary, primary dot illumination at the center of the mirre, and then back through the laser to center into the hole in the laser, and that's ready to go. Ready to do a star test.
Now you guys can communicate via email.
Okay, I'm sending you an email now.
Okay.
You'll have my email address and I got your email address.
Yeah.
But to whatever degree,
Yeah,
those
I mean,
other websites can be a
I
help.
mean, I could probably whip up the PAC website in a couple of hours. Minus the content. I mean, it's all almost entirely static except for the calendar thing. We have a secondary thing to punch in calendar entries. The other website looks like it hasn't been updated since like 1997.
The
The NCRAL website.
is WordPress, and that's where we ran into a problem.
Yeah,
that,
the website that Matt had, there was an issue, is a WordPress site. And so when they update plugins and stuff, then things go offline. So if you got somebody who's constantly watching, keeping up to date, works fine, but yeah. I mean, not that those wouldn't work, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that when I finish cooking up some stuff, we have the infrastructure, we'll be able to, like, they don't have a login place. I mean, what are they doing for people that are membership? How do they get in there and get to their stuff?
Right, this will, the way it's set up, this will allow us to have members only log in, and then they can upload photos and whatnot.
Then we can have attribution.
Have a free for
And then
all.
the forum, for members only, maybe a non-member part of the forum if we want to have people that aren't club members, but they have to be members of the website. So
And the board can have a section on the website
that only the board can see.
So,
Be able to upload all of these minutes, notes automatically on the website, be doing member surveys on the website, stuff like that.
I mean, you know,
Oh, yeah.
whatever you can give us.
Well, yeah, that'd be,
great.
and like I said, when we first brought this up, it'll probably, we'll have something that is. I think, I'm gonna try to get the authentication and stuff so we can get a calendar demo going by the next meeting. No promises, everybody was here, stuff like that, go, you said it was gonna be there by the. But I'll try to get that part going so we can like, here's, and again, it comes down to being able to give people access to create calendar entries and manage them as well as display them to the public or not the public for private events or whatever. So we can have our public events on the public side and anything that's members only, the member meetings, the board meetings, stuff like that. The public doesn't even know what those are. I'm kind of surprised that Pat puts that stuff up in public, unless you guys want it to be out there publicly, but to be able to have meetings that are visible to everybody and meetings that are visible to people.
We've never excluded the public from our general meetings.
But you don't invite them to your board meetings, right?
Not the board
And
meetings.
so they don't need to know when they are.
So just let me give you my perspective.
Yeah.
Matt stepped forward, or maybe we asked him to create a website because of, a number of us